Hey, Sean, good to see you. What are your initial impressions of the Colts?
Yeah, really good team. Well coached by Frank Reich and his staff, led by Phillip Rivers, Hall of Fame quarterback, with weapons all around, a good front, good offensive line, and he's got tight ends, receivers, backs. I think they're playing at a high level, and their defense is well coached by Matt Eberflus, and I think he does a really good job. They've got a good front as well, and good secondary and linebackers in terms of active and good football players. So, and a good special teams unit. So they're to me one of the top teams in the playoffs.
What is the situation with Tyler Kroft? Was it in fact a false positive COVID test?
Honestly, Heather, and I'm going to admit my ignorance here. I don't know. I mean, we thought it was, and then it wasn't, and so I think honestly the league erred on the side of caution. I guess is the best way I can say it. Outside of that, I don't. It's one of those unique situations that we personally have yet to experience in terms of I guess the fluctuations in the results. Maybe is the best way I can describe it.
But he's okay now then, obviously, since he was activated, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, great. Thanks, Sean.
Sure.
Hi, Sean. Adam Benini.
Hi, Adam.
Hey. What can you tell us about the report today about the Jets asking for permission to talk to Brian Daboll?
Yeah, I think, those things come when you win and you have success as a team. And I think the best thing we can do right now is focus on what's in front of us. So, that's all I'll say, just generally speaking right now about that.
Just, I'm interested in your take on that, only in a more expanded way. It is the price of success in the NFL, and you were a beneficiary of that, obviously, in arriving to Buffalo.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, when you win, people want a piece of winners and success, and I get that, and I think those things will be handled in an appropriate manner at the appropriate time.
And my last follow-up to that is, in particular, when you're able to develop a quarterback like Josh Allen, you have the offensive success that you guys are having. How critical has he been to the success and what you've been able to build here?
Yeah, I mean, you look at how we've built the offense over the last couple of years. I think this is our best year, and so when you have a year like we've had, you're going to get attention. And I think Brian's done a really good job, and so I think it's only natural that he's getting the attention that he is.
All right, thank you, Sean.
Sure.
John Warrow, AP, how you doing?
Good, John. How are you?
Good. How much do you lean on the disappointment and frustrations of last year and take away from that on how that game ended in Houston in wanting this team to take the next step?
Yeah, I mean, every year is different. There's guys on our team this year that weren't here last year. So, look, what we need to focus in on is a good Colts football team. That's probably even better than their record, and their record's good. So we've got to win this game. That's what we're focused in on, and not 2 games from now. It's premature to even go there. You got to get focused in on one game at a time, and what it takes to win one game. That's where our focus needs to be.
What do you make of how your team carried over the momentum from, even just carried over the momentum and closing the season the way you did, as opposed to what happened last year when most of your starters rested?
Yeah, I think the focus and the professionalism, I think, is what stood out the most, John, and that's to me steps in the right direction, signs of growth, and that's what we've got to continue to do as we move forward here this week. Is reset and get back to earning the right to win.
And just one last thing, for a colleague of mine that's doing a piece on Ron Rivera, just if you can think back to Carolina when you had the losing record, I think that was 2014, 7-8-1. Was there a sense, and then you wound up winning that game, was there a sense from the outside world that Carolina had zero chance? And how much do you think that played a factor on the players of the team with people discounting them?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think that's certainly a piece maybe, but I think the bigger thing was we knew we were good. We hadn't played well earlier in the year. We didn't play well earlier in the year, if I remember correctly. And then, we were in a good spot at that point in the season, and we're playing good football. I think we even set a record, maybe a playoff record for the fewest amount of yards allowed in one game. But at the end of the day, it was a good win, and I think we moved on there to Seattle, I think, in the second round, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, I mean, you just got to get in, and that's what we've done. That's what the Colts have done, and congratulations to Ron and his team. That's what they've done.
Thanks so much, Sean.
Sure, no problem.
Hey, Sean, it's John. Was curious how the message is, if it's changed at all, or if you guys are doing anything differently in regards to COVID protocols, or your message to the guys, understanding the rules have changed even more, and it's 10 days now with a positive test, and certainly the stakes are the highest they've been to date.
Yeah, John, we continue to talk about it, continue to educate ourselves on more and more things that we could be doing and trying to implement here within being realistic about it. We're all human and trying to do a job and doing it at a high level, and yet live at the same time. That's what I could say. So I just continue to ask our staff and our players to edit their habits in a good way, to making sure that they're being as safe as they possibly can.
Understandably, the bubble thing is not actually happening, but I mean, is it realistic, do you think, to almost tell everyone, hey, you only maybe need to do this for a month. Let's just go to work and go home and let's just do that, just to try to eliminate everything we possibly can.
Yeah, that's sounds very similar to some of the messages that I've shared, honestly, John. And so, again, you try and do the best you can. And I think some of it, again, happens, how, I don't know. I mean, we're still obviously learning about this virus, but just trying to make sure that we're doing everything we can to avoid it.
Thanks a lot.
Sure.
Coach, good afternoon. Mookie Hawkins, Ruffalo Sports 1080. How you doing today?
Hey, Mookie, how are you?
Doing good. Quality depth, Coach. How important is it to have quality depth going into the playoffs?
Yeah, it's important every year. That's what you've got to count on, depth. You got to have depth in this league, and in particular this year with not only injuries occurring, but the virus knocking people out. So, it's highly critical.
Absolutely, now, Coach. And, your past two playoff experiences, how would that help you prepare this week?
Yeah, I mean, I've had a chance to be in the playoffs and with the different teams I've been on, and had a chance to go deep into the playoffs and 2 Super Bowls. So I think all of that combined with my experience as a head coach helps our team. And so, but all of that being said, it's a different game. Every game's a different game. So, we've got to have a good week of preparation and make sure we reset, get our rest, and get ready to play a very, very good Colts football team.
Thanks a lot, Coach.
Sure.
Hey, Sean, Josh Reed here. How are you? How important was it to get John Brown back out on the field and get him some run, in particular with the first team yesterday after being out since mid-November?
Yeah, that was important. That was one of the things we wanted to accomplish yesterday, among others, Josh. And I thought, John did some good things out there yesterday, and I'm glad we had that chance to do that.
How did he come out of that game as far as physically?
Yeah, I think he came out well. And so I think we're trending in the right direction here.
And I mean, I know that they bring different things to the table offensively, but with Cole still kind of up in the air when the postseason comes around, getting John back, this would be a heck of a time, to have him obviously back in full-time back in the lineup, right?
Yeah, you're right. It's good to get John back. And, I thought he did some really good things. I thought Gabe showed up, obviously Isaiah. So the tight ends, the backs, so it was a good overall performance. And that's what you got to do when guys are down. Other guys got to step up.
Thanks, Sean. Appreciate your time as always.
Sure.
Hey, Sean. You guys were able to get the deal done with Kenny Stills. He's going to be on your practice squad. Have you been able to talk to him at all about and what kind of potential role do you see for him moving forward as you guys get into the playoffs here?
Yeah, we'll see. We're just getting started with Kenny now in the mix. So we'll just see what he's able to digest, and I know he's a good player, and see how we can integrate him into what we're doing here.
Mm-hmm. And then on the Colts matchup, you look on the interior of their offensive line, obviously Quentin Nelson, but all the way through there, the challenges seems to be significant there for your interior guys in the D line. I mean, can you speak to that a little bit, and what Ed and Quentin Jefferson and Vernon Butler, the task they have against those guys?
Yeah, I think they know it's a monumental task. It's probably one of the better interior lines, in terms of the continuity and the level of play and the physicality and the communication. They do a really good job, and I think our players are well aware of it.
Thanks, Sean.
Sure.
Good afternoon, Sean. Hope you're well.
Hi, Sal.
If I could ask you about Phillip Rivers, 39 years old and sure doesn't move much anymore. His arm strength might be weakening, but is this still a guy with all that experience that can really create trouble for your defense? Is it a guy you have to worry about still?
Absolutely. He's as good as there is, I believe, out there. He's shown that. He's gotten his team to the playoffs. He's got weapons around him and a good front in front of him. Extremely smart, sees it all. So, you look at the quarterbacks in the playoffs, and, these teams didn't get there on their own, right? I mean, it's a quarterback-driven league, and I think Phillips, he continues to play at a very, very high level.
And I'm not sure how much you've seen of Jonathan Taylor, but it looks like the second half of the year as a rookie, he's really starting to figure it out. What problems does he present for you, a runner like that?
Well, I would say both backs present a problem. They're different than each other. They're both extremely fast, powerful, explosive, can catch the ball out of the backfield. That combined with their passing game presents a headache, as you've seen all season long with their offense for most defenses.
Okay. Thanks, Sean.
Sure.
Hey, Coach. Dante Lasting, Bills.com. I know I asked you about special teams yesterday, but more specifically, in what ways have you seen Corey Bojorquez and Tyler Bass develop and mature as players since they've joined the team?
Yeah, they're obviously different ages in terms of their experience in the league and with us, Dante. I think, the biggest thing is they've worked together on growing and developing, along with, having a mentor, both of them, in Reed Ferguson, and the way Reed approaches his day-to-day job and his career. I think it's a nice kind of small group of a team within the team. And I think all those guys, led by Reed, have developed, and it's been fun to watch those two young guys that you mentioned develop, and I think they're playing as well as anyone right now.
Thank you, and good luck this week.
Thanks.
Hey, Sean, Thad Brown, just wanted to see, is there an update with Cole Beasley at all?
No real update. He continues to rehab, and we'll just see where tomorrow leads us.
Is he still considered week to week at this point?
Yeah.
And then with Isaiah McKenzie yesterday, I know you talked a lot about him, and deservedly so, but in terms of maybe fulfilling that slot receiver role after having reviewed it on film and how he performed in that aspect, how capable is he to do that job if you need him to do it going forward?
Yeah, he's very capable, as you said, and he had a good game yesterday, and we have a lot of confidence in Isaiah.
Mike, Sean, thank you very much.
Sure.